very interesting weather patterns going on in California. A blizzard, ironically, is upon the state, and it kind of makes you want to think, not to jump in the tinfoil hat thought process and jump down the rabbit hole and all of this. But this state is so hell bent on phasing out all gas cars in favor of electric. And a lot of the liberals in power in California, they are in favor of the whole climate change movement. We have to take drastic measures to, because our environment is basically turning on us. There's so much gas and coal pollution, and it's such a hazard. It's a problem for the world as a whole, but especially for America. And they are like the leaders in this movement, that the whole state of California is very ironic. And for those of you out there, I'm sure you're familiar with, or you may have heard of the HAARP machine, HAARP, of which they claimed, or at least they used to claim, it was for seeding clouds, like in areas for the crops that if it was a drought and crops were being severely and adversely affected, they claim that the HAARP machine or machines similar, they would seed the clouds and make it rain, so to save the crops, so there wouldn't be a food shortage. This is what they claimed that it was for. But begs to differ. I mean, it makes you think, okay, if it's possible for that to happen, and as far as certain politicians on whatever aisle you want to look at, as far as they're willing to go, especially in the last 2 years, exaggerating information and censoring those that come up with opposing information, and certain people not even willing to come to the table and have a civil debate about the information that's put forth. Instead, since you don't agree with me, I'll just censor you. I'll just get in bed with big tech, people that own big tech, who ironically lean to a certain left side of the aisle. I'll just get in bed with them and get them on my side. So when somebody brings forth information that's opposite of mine, that person will get censored. Therefore, my information and my point of view is the only one that the masses will see. We've seen firsthand the last few years how this is taking place, especially when we talking about the applesauce. People that decided they didn't want the applesauce, so they were all of a sudden, they stopped short of saying it, but they labeled us and looked at us like we were domestic terrorists. Why don't you want the applesauce? The applesauce is good for you. It saves lives. I don't want the applesauce. I don't like applesauce. How about that? Well, when you were a kid, you had applesauce. They gave you applesauce. Well, I didn't have a choice then. As an adult, I do. And living in a free society, us having choices, we should have the right to say, nope, I don't want applesauce. The applesauce is too new. You guys don't even know the long-term effects of it. So is it beyond the realm of possibility that when they want to target maybe a certain state to generate concern or to back up their position on something, would they go that far? Is it possible? I think it is. I think they would go that far because they've already proven they're willing to sacrifice millions of people to prove a point. So if they do have access to these weather altering devices, technology, ways, if you can see the clouds to bring forth rain in a drought to protect crops, is it possible that you could see the clouds to produce snow? See the clouds to produce, I don't know, a blizzard in a state that's not known to have blizzards? Just so you can say, hey, see, I told you, climate change, global warming, we have to do something. Now you guys understand why we want to ban all gas cars in the state of California. Look what's happening. We got a blizzard. It's very ironic and very convenient. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, just an opinion and a thought on what we've experienced the last few years and how far certain left-leaning extremists are willing to go. Let's read some of this. All systems go for a major and unusual storm, the National Weather Service said in its forecast on Wednesday. The powerful winter storm moving through California is expected to drop heaps of rain, sleet, and snow across much of the state, including Southern California, where several feet of fresh powder could fall in the mountains of Los Angeles and Ventura counties at elevations as low as 1,500 feet Thursday into Friday. The event is unusual even in a winter of unusual events, climate experts say. The state already defined forecast for a dry winter, driven by La Nina, when a series of 9 atmospheric river storms pummeled California in January. The wettest 3-week period on record, according to the state officials. Now portions of Los Angeles and Ventura counties are under a blizzard warning. No relation. Only the second such warning ever the Weather Service is aware of. Should forecasts manifest,